Good morning. Welcome to the second session on air standard cycles, that is gas power cycles. In the previous session we had solved a problem on Otto cycle. Now we will take a problem on diesel cycle. So I will read the problem. In an air standard diesel cycle has a compression of 16. Temperature before compression is 27 degrees centigrade and temperature after expansion is 627 degrees centigrade. Determine net work output per unit mass of air. Second, thermal efficiency. And third one, specific air consumption in kg per kilowatt hour. So now, when the problem is given, our main priority or our first priority is to draw the PV and TS diagram of diesel cycle. So let us draw the diagram. As we know that it is a diesel cycle, the heat is added at constant pressure. So please remember that in case of diesel cycle, the heat is added at constant pressure. So it is called as constant pressure cycle also. And then along with the PV diagram, I will just draw the TS diagram also. So PV then TS. So as we know that in case of diesel cycle, the heat is added at constant pressure. So 2 to 3 heat addition at constant pressure followed by isentropic expansion. So 3 to 4 and then heat rejection at constant volume and then 1 to 2 isentropic compression process. So I will represent. So 2 to 3 P equal to constant, then 4 to 1 V equal to constant, and during this process heat is added, that is QS. Here heat is rejected, QR. Then the work of compression and the work of expansion both are isentropic processes, that is PV to the power gamma equal to constant. Work of compression from 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 work of expansion. So I can write work of compression and work of expansion. The same thing can be represented on a TS diagram, that is 1 to 2 isentropic compression, then 3 to 4 isentropic expansion, and join 2 to 3. When you join 2 to 3, it gives me the constant pressure process where heat is added, that is heat is added at constant pressure, and then similarly 4 to 1 where heat is rejected at constant volume. So work of compression, then work of expansion, that is 3 to 4 and 1 to 2 entropy remains constant. We have drawn the PV and TS diagram of diesel cycle. Then let us write what are the things given in the problem. So he has given us the compression ratio RC equal to 16. Then temperature T1, the temperature before compression is 27 degrees centigrade. So add 273 to this, it becomes 300 Kelvin. Then the temperature after expansion, that is T4. You can see here in the diagram, that is T4. T1 is given and T4 is given. So T4 is 627 degree centigrade. So add 273 to this, it becomes 400 degrees Kelvin. So what we need to find out for this problem is, we need to find out W net, then thermal efficiency, that is air standard efficiency, and then specific air consumption, SAC you can call it as. So these are the things what we need to find out in this problem. So we will take each and every process and then find out the parameters. So again I will show you the PV diagram and TS diagram to you. So let us take the first process, isentropic compression process. You can see the PV diagram, that is isentropic compression process 1 to 2. So I will write during isentropic compression process. So during isentropic compression process, one to 2. So what is happening during this process? I can write T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 whole raised to gamma minus 1. And what is V1 by V2? Is RC. So T2 by T1 will be equal to RC to the power gamma minus 1. And what is RC? RC is nothing but V1 by V2. And we know the value of gamma. Gamma is nothing but Cp by Cv, which is given in the problem. We need to remember those values, that is, it is 1.4. So T2 will be equal to T1 into RC to the power gamma minus 1. That is, T1 is known to us, it is 300, RC is 16, whole raised to 1.1 minus 1, you get the value of T2. That is, you get the value of T2 as 908.7 degrees Kelvin. So after finding out the value of T2, let us take the next process 2 to 3. That is during constant pressure heat addition process. So we'll write during constant pressure heat addition process 2 to 3. So which is shown in the PV diagram. So you can see this PV diagram during this process 2 to 3. So during this process, I can write the equation P2 V2 by T2 equal to P3 V3 by T3. Since it is a constant pressure process, P2 equal to P3. Since P2 equal to P3, P2 and P3 will get cancelled. I can write this equation as V2 by T2 is equal to V3 by T3. That is, I can write T3 equal to V3 by V2 into T2. So T3 will be equal to V3 by V2 into T2, or here I can write this even in this equation as V2 by V3 equal to V2 by V3 is equal to T2 by T3. So I will call this as equation 1. Because I don't know the value of V3, I don't know the value of V2, and similarly I only know the value of T2. So I cannot find out the value of T3. So I will take the next process, that is during isentropic expansion process (3 to 4). Again I will show this on a PV and TS diagram. You can just see here 3 to 4 isentropic expansion process 3 to 4. So 3 to 4 isentropic expansion, here also 3 to 4 isentropic expansion. So during this process, I can write the relations as T3 by T4 will be equal to V4 by V3 whole raised to gamma minus 1. So again I will show you the diagram. You can see from the diagram V4 is same as V1, that is I can write here V4 equal to V1. Similarly here also in the PV diagram I can write P2 equal to P3. Then here also I can write S1 is equal to S2. Similarly here in the TS diagram I can write S3 is equal to S4. So I am just modifying the things and writing what are the things we know from the PV and TS diagrams, that is V4 is equal to V1, P2 is equal to P3, similarly S1 is equal to S2 and S3 is equal to S4. So now what I can do is, when I consider the process 3 to 4, I can write the value of V4 as V1, that is V1 by V3 whole raised to gamma minus 1. So now what I will do is, to this equation I will multiply and divide by V2, that is V1 by V2 into V2 by V3 whole raised to gamma minus 1. So I am multiplying and dividing V1 by V3, that is multiplying and dividing it by V2. So what do I get? Upon rearranging the terms, V1 by V2 into V2 by V3 whole raised to gamma minus 1. Now find out the value of T3. So T3 will be equal to T4 into V1 by V2 into V2 by V3 whole raised to gamma minus 1. So you can write the value of V2 by V3, or you can call this as equation 2. So I will call this as equation 2. So now we had got the equation previously also, V2 by V3 equal to T2 by T3, that I will substitute in this equation, that is substituting the values, substituting the value of V2 by V3 as T2 by T3 in equation 2 from equation 1. We get, what do we get? We get T3 is equal to T4 into bracket V1 by V2 into T2 by T3 whole raised to gamma minus 1. So I will rearrange the terms. T4 into V1 by V2 whole raised to gamma minus 1 into T2 by T3 whole raised to gamma minus 1. So T3 equal to, so T3 into T3 raised to gamma minus 1 will be equal to T4, V1 by V2 is RC to the power gamma minus 1 into T2 raised to gamma minus 1. So I have sent the term T3 raised to gamma minus 1, that is 1 upon T3 raised to gamma minus 1 on the left hand side and multiplied here. So I will get T3 into T3 raised to gamma minus 1 will be equal to T4. V1 by V2 is RC, that is RC to the power gamma minus 1 into T2 raised to gamma minus 1. So we have found out the value of T2, we know the value of RC, we know the value of T4 which is given in the problem. So let us find out the value of T3 now. So rearranging the terms, so T3 raised to gamma plus gamma minus T3 raised to gamma plus 1 minus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 will get cancelled, that is T3 raised to gamma will be equal to T4 into RC raised to gamma minus 1 into T2 raised to gamma minus 1. So I have solved the terms on the left hand side, that is T3 into T3 raised to gamma minus 1, that is T3 raised to gamma plus 1 minus 1, plus 1 minus 1 will get cancelled, so we have the term T3 raised to gamma. So substitute these values in the equation now, or before that we can find out T3 now. T3 will be equal to T4 into RC raised to gamma minus 1 into T2 raised to gamma minus 1 whole raised to 1 by gamma. That is T4 is known, it is 627, we have added 273 to that, it becomes 900. 900 into RC is 16 raised to 1.4 minus 1 into T2 is 908.7 whole raised to 1.4 minus 1 whole raised to 1 by 1.4. So solve this terms in the bracket. So you get the value of T3 as 191.99 kilojoules. So after finding out the value of T3, I can find out now heat supplied, which is taking place during the process 2 to 3. So heat supplied per unit mass, that is Qs, will be equal to, per unit mass we are finding out, so therefore it is Cp into T3 minus T2, because heat is added at constant pressure. So Cp value you know, it is 1.005, T3 we have found out just now, it is 191.99 minus T2, that is 108.7. So which fetches me the answer as 1088.69 kilojoules per kg. So this is heat added. So after finding out the value of heat added, find out heat rejected. Heat rejected per unit mass, that is QR, will be equal to CV T4 minus T1. Because heat is rejected at constant volume, so we are using the term CV. That is 0.718 into bracket T4 is 900, 900 minus 300. So you will get the value of heat rejected, that is 430.8 kilojoules per kg. Then find out W net. Net work W net is Qs minus QR. That is 1088.69 minus 430.8. So upon subtracting, we get the value as 657.89 kilojoules per kg. Then find out thermal efficiency. Thermal efficiency will be equal to Qs minus QR by Qs. That is 1088.69 minus 430.8 divided by 657.89. So which fetches me the answer as 60.4, or it is 0.604, which is nothing but 60.4% is the thermal efficiency of the cycle. Then find out steam rate, and then you can find out even expansion ratio, that is specific air consumption. Like we are using steam consumption rate in vapor power cycles, we are using BSFC in case of IC engines. Here we will be using the term SAC, that is specific air consumption, which is given by again the same 1 upon W net, and we are calculating it per hour, so we are multiplying it by 3600, that is 3600 divided by 657.89. So will be equal to 5.47 kg per kilowatt hour. This is what is specific air consumption. So the next problem, in an Otto cycle, the upper and lower limits for absolute temperature respectively are T3 and T1. Show that for the maximum work, the ratio of compression should have the value Rc to the power Rc equal to T3 by T1 to the power 1.25. And in the second case, if the maximum work per kg of air is to be done, show that the intermediate temperature are given by T2 is equal to T4 is equal to root of T1 T3. So there are two cases to be done. So we will take up the first case. So again you can draw the PV and TS diagram of Otto cycle. So in short, I will just draw it within a few seconds. So you can see the PV diagram, and then the TS diagram, which I am drawing now. So represent it quickly. You know that it is a constant volume cycle. So heat is added at constant volume. Initially you have isentropic compression, 1 to 2 isentropic compression followed by heat added at constant volume, and then isentropic expansion, and then heat rejection. So 3 to 4 isentropic expansion, and 4 to 1 again heat rejection. So QS V equal to constant for both these processes, that is 2 to 3 and 4 to 1, and then 1 to 2 isentropic compression, and then 3 to 4 isentropic expansion, that is PV to the power gamma equal to constant. You can see the diagram now. Similarly, the TS diagram. So I will draw the TS diagram. Isentropic compression followed by heat addition at constant volume, then isentropic expansion, and then constant volume heat rejection. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let us heat added QS, this is QR, work of compression, and then work of expansion, which is shown on the PV and TS diagram. This is work of compression and this is work of expansion. So with these two diagrams, we will take up the work done. So I will write the equation for work done now. So the work done per kg of fluid in the cycle is given by work done per kg of fluid in the cycle is given by W equal to QS minus QR. So what is QS? It is CV T3 minus T2, that is from the diagram. You can see here the heat added is CV T3 minus T2 minus of heat rejected CV T4 minus T1. And we know that T2 by T1 is nothing but V1 by V2 to the power gamma minus 1. So what is V1 by V2? It is Rc to the power gamma minus 1. So this thing we know. So we can write T2 equal to, during the isentropic compression process 1 to 2, what is the value of T2 in terms of T1? Similarly, during the isentropic expansion process from 3 to 4, we can write T3 equal to in terms of T4. So let us write these two terms. That is T2 equal to T1 into RC to the power gamma minus 1. I will call this as equation 1. As I said, it is being written by considering the process 1 to 2. And then during the isentropic expansion process, T3 will be equal to T4 into RC to the power gamma minus 1. So which is equation 2. Then substitute the values of T3, T4 in the equations. So we get similarly, when we substitute the values, that is W will be equal to CV into bracket T3 minus T1, T2 is T1 into RC to the power gamma minus 1 minus of T4 I want. So T4 will be T3 divided by RC to the power gamma minus 1 plus T1. So I have removed that bracket. So minus minus will become plus. So I will call this as equation 3. Then this equation or this expression is a function of what terms? RC, T1 and T3. So but when T3 and T1 are fixed, so if I fix these values of T1 and T3, only term which remains is RC. So differentiate this equation with respect to RC, you will get the maximum work done. So the value of W will be maximum when, just now I said dW by dRC is equal to 0. So when I differentiate this equation with respect to RC, the above equation, I will get maximum work done. That is dW by dWRC will be equal to, so differentiate the terms, T3 is constant, so minus T1 into RC to the power gamma minus 1 is there. So gamma minus 1 into RC to the power gamma minus of 1, minus of 1 will become minus 2. So upon differentiating, RC to the power gamma minus of 1, minus 1 becomes minus 1 minus 1 becomes minus 2. Plus minus minus plus T3 into 1 minus gamma I will write. So minus I have taken it out into RC to the power minus gamma equal to 0. So rearranging the terms, T3 into RC to the power minus gamma will be equal to, so I have taken this minus term also, 1 minus gamma is constant. So will be equal to T1 into RC to the power gamma minus. So T3 by T1 will be equal to RC to the power 2 into bracket gamma minus 1. So minus gamma goes to the denominator, minus gamma also will go. You will get the equation as minus 2 gamma minus 1. So 2 into gamma minus 1 in the numerator. So upon solving, so we get RC equal to T3 by T1 whole raised to, so RC whole raised to 1 by 2 into bracket gamma minus 1. This is what is asked in the first case. So we approved the first case. So let us take the second case now. That is case 2. So we have, just now we have proved RC equal to T3 by T1 whole raised to 1 by 2 into bracket gamma minus 1. So to this equation what I will do now, I will substitute the values of T2 and T4. So T2 is known to us. So T2 is T1 into RC to the power gamma minus 1 and T4 is T3 divided by RC to the power gamma minus 1. So these two values we know. So these two values I am going to substitute in the equation and then solve. So upon substituting, what do I get? Substituting the value of RC in above equation. So I get T2 equal to T1 into the bracket T3 by T1 whole raised to 1 by 2 into bracket gamma minus 1 whole raised to gamma minus 1. So I have substituted the value of RC in this equation. That is in the equation of T2. So T2 equal to T1 into bracket RC to the power gamma minus 1. I have substituted the value of RC. So T1 in the bracket, if I solve this, so I will get T3 by T1 whole raised to half. That is denominator I have gamma minus 1, in the numerator I have gamma minus 1. These two terms will get cancelled. So I will get T2 equal to T1 into T3 by T1 whole raised to half. So T2 I can find out as, by solving this I will get the equation as T2 equal to T1 T3 whole raised to half, that is root of T1 T3. Similarly, I will take the second equation, that is T4 equal to T3 divided by RC to the power gamma minus 1. That is, I will substitute the value of RC as T3 by T1 whole raised to 1 by 2. In the denominator I have gamma minus 1 whole raised to gamma minus 1. So again gamma minus 1 in the numerator and in the denominator you have gamma minus 1. These two terms will get cancelled. So I will have the equation as T4 equal to T3 divided by T3 by T1 whole raised to half. So take this term to the numerator. Then by using the theory of indices, solve this. So you will have the answer as T3 raised to half. In the denominator again I have T1 raised to half. So this term minus half will go to the numerator, it becomes plus half. So upon solving I will get the answer as T1 T3 raised to half, that is root of T1 T3, that is T4. So I will call this equation as 4 and I am calling this equation as 5, that is T2 equal to root of T1 T3 and T4 equal to root of T1 T3. The right hand terms are same. So I can equate, that is equating equations 4 and 5, or from equations 4 and 5 I get T2 equal to T4 equal to root of T1 T3. So we have proved the two cases, that is in the first case we have proved RC equal to, again I will show, RC equal to T3 by T1 whole raised to 1 by 2 into bracket gamma minus 1 in the denominator, that is 2 into bracket gamma minus 1 is in the denominator. And then in the second case what I have done is I have proved T2 equal to T4 equal to root of T1 T3, or I can write this as T1 T3 whole raised to 1 by 2. So we have proved this for today's session. That's all for today's session. Good day. Thank you.